Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the BMS Toys, Vtoys collab figure, Return of the King, aka Kingdom Come Superman. And this is the second time I've looked at a third-party item, because the first time was the quote-unquote summer, right? Was he summer, winter? I don't know, whatever. The Leonardo, this one, this guy. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This Leonardo. For the first time, I looked at a third-party figure. This is the second time. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's fine. But I got this from 5K Toys, and I have a few issues with the figure. I think they're just very minor issues. I also have had this for like a day. I haven't had the suit start coming apart on me. I know a lot of people have said that. Like, I've had a couple of pieces here and there that have kind of like frayed and fell off, but like it was just kind of like almost the equivalent of like dryer lint. It really wasn't like, the suit coming apart or anything. But as for the few issues, we'll get into those here in a minute. But this figure is great. If you have the Vtoys body, you know exactly what you're getting in terms of articulation. Well, to a degree. They did change up part of it, but pretty much everything else is the same. And everything that you get with that figure is pretty much the same that you would get here, because all he comes with is extra hands. So as you can see on the figure right now, he has, open hands, sort of like on the verge of a high five kind of hands. But he also comes with a set of these grip hands, which are really nice. I do like these. These are pretty good. He comes with a pair of fists, because obviously he needs to knock somebody out, if he ever needs to knock someone out, or a good old Superman flying pose like that. And speaking of flying poses, he also comes with a pair of flight hands, or karate chop hands, or whatever you like to call them. But I think of them more as like classic Superman flying hands. And I think that's pretty much what most of us think they are anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's really all his accessories. And I don't really think there's anything else that you could want, to be completely real. I mean, it would have been kind of cool if we got like an alternate head, that was like angry, or, heat vision or something. But we don't really need that, You don't really need that for a Superman. Like, I mean, it's of course always a bonus to have like things where you can show his powers, but like as long as we have a good neutral Superman head, I think we're fine. And speaking of a neutral Superman head, let's punch in and take a look at the head sculpt on this figure. I really do like the detail on this. I think this is a really good head sculpt for this Superman. I don't think that there's really that much more that they could have done to make this better. I think it's honestly like on par with Mezco. Also, my light's kind of messing this up right now. Let's pull him back a little bit, just a little. There we go. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. Why is this light is messing up this head sculpt so bad right now? There we go. That's a little bit better. Light's kind of hitting it at a weird angle, but it's not bad. I like it. I think it's pretty good. It's obviously, supposed to be older Superman. He's got the curl. He's got the gray going around. I think it's pretty good. I think it's on par with Mezco head sculpts, to be completely fair. I don't think that, because Mezco head sculpts, they're not the greatest. Like, when you really get down to it, when they're normal heads, they're not that great. I love Mezco, but they're not that great. Their masked heads, good, great, wonderful, fantastic. But their normal stuff's about on par with this. Actually, this might even be better than a Mezco one, because if you look, he actually has eyelashes painted. For some reason, they don't paint that on Mezco. I don't know why, but they just don't. And there's actually, if you get in really close, I don't know if that's going to come across on camera or not, but he actually has painted skin. Like, they put in some detail to almost make him look a little aged. Speaking of, there's actually a little bit of depth to the hair right there. Just looks good. I really like this head sculpt on this. I think it looks really good. And then as for his symbol, it is attached to the suit. I thought it was going to be attached to the chest and the suit was going to be around it, like how Mezco stuff is, but no, it actually is attached to the suit. So if you do want to switch the suit out, you're going to either have to cut the symbol off or buy a suit or make a suit that has this Kingdom Come logo. Otherwise, you're kind of SOL, to be honest. And speaking of this suit, wouldn't be Kingdom Come Superman without this whole kind of belt area going on down here, which brings us into my first gripe. So if I pull the cape out of the way here, which, speaking of the cape, wonderful material. This whole suit's a wonderful material, but this cape isn't wired, which is a bummer, but it's not a deal breaker for me personally. The belt isn't... It's just slotted through the belt loops. It's not secure or anything. I don't know why that is. So like if you go messing around with it, they're going to come out of the belt loops. So I may end up after this review, I may end up just gluing it together, but not trying to at least not glue it to the suit itself or the body or anything. But the belt looks good. I like the gold on it. I think that looks really good. I would love, see, something that would have been kind of cool is if maybe they gave us like a Brandon Routh head with this. That would have been kind of cool. So we could have, the Brandon Routh Kingdom Come Superman. That would have been pretty neat, but that might be too much to ask, especially for a third-party company, and one being this figure being that great for a third-party figure. Awesome. Which a lot of people do dog, third-party stuff, and there are a lot of people that are skeptical about third-party stuff, but I feel like I'd say, like it used to be, it was a 50-50 shot. Now, I would say, like, you kind of can pick out which ones are, with the beauty of YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff, you can pick out which companies are going to be the good third-party stuff that you can definitely trust to get a good quality product from. And I think that BMS and Vtoys are that with this figure. I think they proved that. And also, they have a Henry Cavill Black Suit Superman that's out right now, too. So, I may get that, may not. We'll have to just see. I don't know. But after getting this figure, I love it. But now coming down a little bit more, got the trunks, which are really good. And I think the trunks might be the exact same material. Yeah, because looking at the back of the cape here, I think they're the same material. The trunk and the cape are both that material, which is really good. I like the consistency throughout that. That's pretty cool. And as for his boots, I love these boots. They turned out so well. They got some nice detail to them to kind of bring like a real world sort of feel into them while also maintaining that classic look, which is always cool. I love whenever we have, like, that's what I said in the Jay Garrick video for the multiverse figure. That I loved that he was both classic and modern at the same time. I think it's really cool when they do kind of stuff like that. And now taking a look at the articulation. So if you have a Vtoys body, this figure is almost that exactly, except for this neck chest area. So if you pull in right here, you see the collarbone right there. That's actually a separate piece. And the cape is actually plugged in right there. You can see there's a little bit of gaps going on, like right where the cape goes into the body. It's actually really cool because you don't really notice it until you get up on it and you look at it really close that it's like that. But I think that's a really neat way to attach the cape. I like that they did that. That's really smart and really cool, and I like that they did that. But his head can go up that far, so you can get a good flying pose out of that, I think. Can go down that far, can tilt, rotate, all that stuff. Shoulders go out that far, pretty good. Shoulders are very tight as well. Can go that far across, up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go that far. Got standard, like import joints at the hands. So, it's a ball joint that can rotate and twist, all that good stuff. As for the torso, it can go that far forward, which is really good, that far back. And the suit's not like catching on anything either, which is really good. I love that as well. It's a nice material. It can rotate, all that good stuff. Legs go out that far, and you can actually get the suit to go out that far too. But, obviously it kind of pulls itself back together, but it's a nice sort of spandex material, which is what Superman's suit usually is made out of. But you can see what I'm talking about with the belt right there. Can go that far forward and that far back. He has a little bit of thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that go back that far. The only thing that I would say, maybe be careful with the knee joints, just because you don't want that to get caught like back here or anything and start to tear, but it should be fine. The boots are connected to the legs themselves, and then the ankles. Oh, wow. Like, ankles can go back that far, can go up pretty far, and then some ankle pivot. They are just a ball joint, but they have some really solid range, which is really cool and not something that we typically see when it comes to ball joints. And then I don't know if I mentioned it, I feel like I did, but the cape is not wired. That is the only other gripe that I have with this, is just that the cape's not wired. Which I think I did mention that, but it's not really that big of a deal. I think it drapes very well. I think it looks very good. And then honestly, it's a flimsy enough material to where if you just if you're in the middle of taking a picture, you just turn like a little fan on or something, it'll blow the cape and it'll look fine. It'll have a nice organic feel to it, which is really cool. I do like that. So now let's move on to some size comparisons. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts 1984 Wonder Woman and the Mafex Hush Superman, and I think this looks really good. But the Mezco that I do have, which I always compare, is the Mezco Netflix Daredevil. So if you have this Daredevil, you know kind of this height he's going to be. And I think this looks so beautiful having these two together, just so classic. We got the 20th anniversary Captain America, and I think this looks great. They're also about neck and neck in terms of height, and I think this looks really good. Seeing all three of these guys together, it looks really cool, especially getting these two side by side. How classic that looks. Love it. Overall, like, I've kind of gushed about this the whole video. I mean, I'm a little worried about the suit because I had a lot of people say that they, were worried about the suit being flimsy and all that stuff, which is, totally fair. And I could definitely see this suit starting to fray over time because it's a very thin material. It is. It's a very thin material, but it seems spandexy. It seems like it's gonna hold up a little bit, you know. Like obviously don't go cranking on it, throw it at the wall or anything, but you know, you can't do that with a Mezco anyway. Like, take about as much precaution as you do with a Mezco, and you know, maybe a little bit more precaution. But I love this. I don't know how you might be able to replace the cape, and the way that you might have to do that would probably be like try to heat up and pop that whole neck area off, like from the collarbone up. But I don't want to do that, and I'm good with this cape. Like I said, you just get a fan kind of going. Like here, I can just go, and you get a nice, you know, windswept look and me out of breath. But that being the only problem that I see, and then the belt. I don't know why the belt's not connected. It should have been like a little button piece like Hot Toys are, or just glued. It should have been glued. I don't know why it's not. Maybe it is on all the other ones, and maybe I just got one that wasn't glued. And if that's the case, okay, that's not a big deal. I don't really care. I'm gonna glue it myself anyway. So, but I love it. I think this is a great figure. I think it's a great representation of Kingdom Come Superman, and I would love to get a Kingdom Come Batman from this company. I think that would be really cool. So, yeah, there's really nothing else that I can say. This is just a really good figure, and if you're a big fan of Kingdom Come, or Superman, or both, or just good action figures, this is definitely a must-have for you. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.